I'm astrologer and life coach Penny Dix. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome back if you're one of my regular visitors here. And if you are, you know my introduction off by heart, as do I now. And if you're new here, and this is the bit that those of you that are new here will be thinking, what on earth is she talking about? I will explain. So I try and make the astrology I deliver as simple and understandable and digestible as possible. So astrology for all. Because the kind of energy of today is that the more we can understand how we kind of work in harmony with the cosmos, how the cosmos tries to give us clues, hints, and direct us, then it makes our life so much more simple to live, or at least in theory, that's what we hope. So if this is your first visit, a very big welcome to you. I do hope you like my style of astrology, and I would love it if you'd subscribe. So today I'm bringing you yet another of my supposedly short heads up videos, but you know me, it could be a little bit longer than just a few minutes. Because today I want to talk about Uranus, this huge planet, this mighty god of the cosmos. Uranus, who was basically had no father. His mother was Gaia. Gaia was Mother Earth. And he and all of the gods came from the kind of chief god who was called Chaos. So out of chaos was born Gaia, Uranus. Uranus gave birth to many gods and goddesses, including Aphrodite, who was born from his testicles that were, for some reason, in the sea. And so she was born of that. But he was father to the Titans. Gaia was his mother, but also became his wife. So there's rich Greek mythology around the energy of this massive gas giant planet. It's no wonder that Uranus in astrology not only represents astrology and rules the sign of Aquarius, which is an air sign, because Uranus brought the weather. Uranus stirred up thunderstorms. Uranus could be the thunderbolt. Uranus could be the lightning. Uranus is also symbolically, astrologically, represents technology and electricity. He is the god of all these things that we use now. And what's so interesting about Uranus as well is that because of his link with the earth, with Gaia, it's no wonder that his explosive personality causes earthquakes. He literally can cause the earth to move, to shift, to wake us up, to set us free. His greatest fear was that he would be killed by one of his children, which ultimately leads in, if you like, to the sort of the later myths of Oedipus and how, you know, that whole theory of psychoanalysis began, where, you know, the son kills the father, the young stag kills the old stag. There has to be this continuity of kind of action. You know, it's really interesting that I'm recording this video today, which is the 29th of August, nearly forgot what month I'm in, because Uranus, well, first of all, I'll tell you, Uranus goes retrograde today in Taurus. So it's from today, August the 29th, until January the 27th, next year, 2024. But I just want to tell you this interesting thing that happened to me this morning, which is just interesting because it's the day that I'd chosen to record this video about Uranus. I woke up all bleary-eyed, as you do, and went to the bathroom, which suddenly lit up like, well, it was just like a massive, you know, you could almost think a hydrogen bomb had gone off somewhere. There was just a flash that was so bright that it made me kind of stop in my tracks. It was immediately followed by the loudest crack of thunder. All the electricity went out, of course. And it's at moments like that that we recognize how the ancients saw saw this as messages from the gods. So we have to think, what on this day, and I'm recording this on the 21st of August, so what on this day did Uranus want us to be aware of? Because he is a planet that turns everything upside down. He acts suddenly, unexpectedly. And the reaction that I had this morning was just kind of like, well, it was shock. It was like an electric shock. What that meant symbolically for me, I'm not sure yet. Maybe that will become clear as the day progresses. So, what do we make of the energy of Uranus today and how we are going to manage and handle the energy of Uranus retrograde in Taurus? First of all, let's remind ourselves that in Taurus, Uranus is not best placed because Taurus is an earth sign and fixed. However, Uranus is actually fixed as well, even though he's an air sign, because he's about the air and thunder and lightning bolts. Uranus rules Aquarius, which is fixed. So once Uranus acts, there's not much we can do about it. There's no flexibility. Once the earth moves, it moves. And we either get out of the way or not. So let's think about the energy of Uranus in Taurus. Taurus, which is fixed, which is about our financial system, our economy. We've certainly seen since Uranus entered Taurus a few years back how the economy, really since the beginning of the pandemic, has struggled, recovered, but it's been challenging times, and especially for everybody individually throughout the world. Whatever the area of life you are working in or living in, I don't think anyone will have found it particularly easy to navigate these kind of Uranus in Taurus financial energies. So Uranus today is going retrograde, but where it is today, and this is relevant as well, as it turns retrograde, it's at 23 degrees and 4 minutes of Taurus. It's trining retrograde Pluto in Capricorn. It's also trining retrograde Mercury in Virgo. So, interesting energy. So we've got Pluto, we've got Mercury. So we've got I just kicked the table. Very Uranus. That was unexpected. Must remember not to move my feet too much. So sorry about that if it made you think you were in an earthquake. Special effects included in this video. So it is interesting because they're all slowing down. But where Uranus is today is the furthest it's gone for any of us in our kind of, for any of us that work, because Uranus takes something like 85 years to go round the sun. So, and I've probably got all that timing wrong. I'm actually going to look it up as well while we're on, just to make sure that I've got, how many years does Uranus take to go round Uranus? Oh, I can't find it. How many years it take Uranus to go around? It's not answering my question. How long? How many years? How many? Oh, that's quite interesting. How many years would it take to travel to Uranus? 9.5 years. Oh, okay. But a spacecraft with humans on board could take even longer. Well, I'm certainly giving you some. Listen, it takes about 84, 85 years. We get a Uranus return when we're about 84 or 85. So instead of me wasting time trying to do that, isn't it interesting how this video is turning out to be very Uranian? It's like I'm acting it out. I find that extraordinary and I love it. This is what I love about astrology. This is what I love about, for instance, when I do my lives, because in a sense, when this is a pre-recorded video, but now that I'm 12 minutes in, I don't really particularly want to go back and start again, because I might miss some of the really valuable gems that I brought in along the way. And it can get a little bit stale if I keep repeating it. So I'm going to keep going, mistakes and all, no editing. You get me absolutely neat. That's how I come. Not even on the rocks, in a lovely crystal glass, neat, like my whiskey. Right, back to today's chart. So, for most of us, unless you're 84 or 85, you have not experienced Uranus at this particular degree of your chart. So it's like we're in new territory. That's the way to look at it. So, new territory. So Uranus has moved this far into Taurus. It's having a check, it's having a look round. It's now going to go backwards and look at what needs to be shaken up, woken up, set free, rebelled against. We could be in for an interesting few months. What's just popped into my mind is what can be happening in the United States around the various indictments against the last president, President Trump, because all of this could be somehow him being taken through a process of having to revisit, relook at, reconnect with what has unfolded and the kind of trail of disruption that has been caused. Now, whether he is right or wrong, I'm not the judge. I do not judge. I observe, as I've said before. And I did say in my recent Mercury retrograde video that I actually think Mercury retrograde will be very helpful to him when he builds his case. And I also think these retrograde planets in general will be very helpful to him. He's not that far off a Uranus return. His natal Uranus is in Gemini. And it's only I think Uranus goes into Gemini in about 2026, so it's not that far off. And I'm just kind of playing with this energy because I just think it's interesting that what I feel these retrograde planets are doing, because Jupiter is also going to go retrograde on September the 4th. So we will have Uranus, Jupiter, Chiron, Neptune, Saturn, Pluto, Mercury, Venus, all retrograde. This could be taken two ways. It's an opportunity to see where we've all come so far, and we can take that on the world stage, the world platform, to see how far we've come or not, as the case may be, to reevaluate, to relook at, to change, tweak, to just shift the energies, to set free, to report. And so what can the downside be? Which could also be a double positive. We find things, or things come to light, which have been kept hidden, especially with that Mercury retrograde in Virgo, where it's looking into every minutiae detail of anything that is written down. So this retrograde phase, which really goes on fully to the end of January, because Pluto does not go direct again till the end of January next year. Slowly the planets will start to move forward, and as they do, I will deal with each one as it starts to change direction, and we can see how it links in. But what I've just been talking about, I want you to take the energy of it in regard to your own life. Think about how you can change, redo, reorganize the way you've been working so far and going forward so far with your life. And it can be any area: career, job, passion, love relationships, anything to do with work, anything to do with the home, children, family, loved ones, just being, or just wanting to find your direction in life, just not seeing clearly where you're going. Use this wonderful retrograde energy to slow down, to take time out. I think we're all getting news weary. We're getting desensitized to shocking events. We're getting desensitized to the shocking events that Uranus can still bring. Earthquakes, storms, volcanic eruptions, wildfires, we've already had plenty of those. Terrible storms, hurricanes, all of those might occur even round the few days of Uranus actually going retrograde, because it's like this massive planet already put the brakes on a few degrees back, and it's grinding to this massive kind of standstill position to retrace its steps. And as you know, with retrograde planets, it is our observation of them from our perspective on planet Earth, because tropical Western astrology is based on the premise that the planets go around the Earth, including the Sun. This does not take anything away from the symbolic meaning of the planets. It's just that not only do they go round us, but they also go round the Sun. as do we. So it's all a matter of perspective. So I'll keep this short. Well, I'll keep this long because it's 20 minutes already. If any of you are still here, thank you for still being here. I hope you get a sense of what I'm picking up with this energy. And thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, all those lovely things. Subscribe to my website. Remember, I said a couple of days ago in my heads up video that I've got 1 or 2 appointment spaces still available in September. October's filling up because I think it's like moving into the autumn, so more people want to sort of get their charts done and prepare for the kind of coming season. So if you would like to book a session with me, get in touch with me. Check the sessions page out, private sessions on my website, gives you all the fees, all the prices, and then you email me, penny@pennydix.com, and I reply and we sort something out. So that's how it's done. All right, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for your support. Thank you for all the well wishes for my arm, which, as you can see, is more or less back to normal. There's still a little bit of bruising, but I had physio today and I can now do this. I'm allowed to do this as an exercise, but not with weights. Dearie me. Right. Will I ever shut up? I'm going to stop now. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.